back.
Court or ice, you are on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make 'em mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
What's going on, CWall family?
Look,
we're back at it again.
Listen, we've been sitting here. This is Cameron. This is Cameron Young, one of my amazing interns, right?
It's good to be here.
You all met Cameron about 2 months ago. If you recall, I had a whole video about Cameron. And the only thing Cameron was doing 2 months ago was throwing up the peace sign. And since we've been sitting here, he's been all the way live. And I'm like, did I do that to Cameron? Did CWall do this to Cameron?
It's a good mix. It's definitely a good mix. Nerves and being on here with you. I'm feeding off of your energy. I like
well,
it.
That's good. That's good. So we're repping the camo today, you can see. And also in the studio, we have Joy. She's repping her camo. And Gerard, the owner of 87 TV Network, is doing all the behind the scenes. So we do want to apologize for the delay, but we are here. We are here, and we are about to have a good time. Listen, before we share what Cameron is joining us today on the show, we do have to still go through the rundown of all things DC sports. Now, that is a lot, because there's always, listen, we have forgotten, and that is on me, right? It's been so busy that I forget to say what I love to say, which is, when is there a dull moment in DC sports? That is, answer is never. Never. I said that with a lot of meaning. Never, not ever. And so, Redskins fans, tonight is a big night. So we'll get to that later. But at first, I want to talk about the red hot Washington Mystics. The WNBA. They are piping hot. And Gerard knows because he was at the game on Sunday. And I mean, they are cranking. I'm looking at the notes, so they've already made it in the finals. I mean, not the finals. Oh, I'm speaking it into existence. They made it into the playoffs. They made it into the playoffs. I'm already foresight. I'm already seeing it. I can already be like, I called it. So on Sunday, they broke a WNBA record, 18 threes. Okay, 18 threes. They were out there killing. They've now won 6 games in a row. They're averaging 95.3 points right now. They are on fire. I told y'all, I do want to say this. I told you all, there's something about this team that when they made it all the way to the championship last year, right? Mm-hmm. The championship series. And they lost. We all know that they lost. But let me tell you something. There's something about who they became in defeat. These women are, they're the camaraderie and the energy. I'm telling y'all, I think this is it. I'm serious. And this is not just the DC fan talking crazy. This is not it. they're doing a tremendous job like they have been all season. They're staying consistent. Shout out to Natasha Cloud, who became the Mystics all-time assist leader with 579 assists. She's just doing her thing. And I'm excited. They are in Chicago with the Chicago Sky tomorrow night, August 23rd, and then they're back here in D.C. on Sunday, taking on the New York Liberty. So they're first in the Eastern Conference. They're 20-7, and they are just doing what they do. So kudos to those ladies for doing what they do. Because I know, for one, I am most certainly enjoying it, for sure. Now, let's see. Was there any other updates? Listen, the XFL. The XFL is back. They announced all 8 teams. The DC Defenders. That is our XFL football team. So the team will play its games at Audi Field starting in February. They'll have a 40-man active roster and play a 10-week season. So look out for the XFL, the DC Defenders. I'm good with that. I don't have any problem with that. At first I was like, that is a little corny. But I mean, it's good. It's good. It serves a purpose, and I'm looking forward to it. You all know you will see me at the games in the springtime, so it's all good. The Nats, boy, Joy and I have a very good friend. He's like our brother, and I'm gonna definitely tag him in this because he's a huge Pittsburgh fan. And I didn't want to get all on his Facebook and his social media and not harass, but kind of like harass him last night as the Nats put the beat down on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, they just made them look bad, made them look like they don't even deserve to be out there. It was 11-1. But I'm probably Well, no, I'm not exaggerating. It was bad. League. But I'm telling you, the Nats are still on the road. That bullpen, they still got to do. They got to do better with that bullpen. But when the bats are hot, they are hot. They are smoking. And they are most certainly smoking. I think that Max Scherzer should be making a comeback here very soon. Don't forget, next week, the Battle of the Beltway, the Nats and the Orioles. Next week at Nats Park. I was hoping to try to make it out there, but now it doesn't look like I'll be able to. We'll see. We shall see. We shall most certainly see. But they're smoking hot. The Mystics are smoking hot. I'm just excited. The Wizards made some updates to their personnel. You all have probably seen this already. Antoine Jameson has joined the front office. LaRon Prophet has joined the front office. So they're definitely making some good moves. So, and so, yeah, we can, yeah. And so, it's doing everything. They're doing everything they're supposed to do in the Wizards front office. Right. They're doing absolutely everything, I believe, in terms of how they're growing the front office and who they're putting in certain positions. We won't know what they're slated to do until they do it. We know titles is what I'm saying, but we won't know how good they do until they actually get the chance to get in there and do it. Shout out to John Wall. Everyone knows he did his annual backpack giveaway. He does one here, and then he does one in his hometown in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so he's donated over 6,500 backpacks this year, and that's just kudos to the John Wall Foundation and what they continue to do to make strides in the community. So want to say hey to everybody. Just got a chance to look. Hey there, Darrell, Cameron, Tony. You guys are all awesome. And of course, I always have to shout out my mama, because my mother always watch the show. Look, Cameron's mom watching the show. My mom, my dad. Exactly. Shout out to Cameron's parents. It's awesome, and that is a perfect segue into the next segment. And this is why, as I mentioned earlier, Cameron is one of 3 CWall Sports and Entertainment Interns.
Shout
He is
out to all
a
interns.
rising senior at Frostburg State University, mass communications major. And so Cameron has been working with me for about 2 months, right? And like he said, he's already feeling the energy. That's why I had to say, who did this to you? Was it me? Was it me in these 60 days? If it is, that's good. So anyway, Cameron's role has, when I first met Cameron, let me just share this with everybody. When I first met Cameron, I was telling him about the business and talking about the different facets of the business, and his face lit up. Like I could feel the energy when I mentioned esports, and I said, okay, that's what he's gonna do. We just gonna go ahead and put him there because he didn't budge when I said anything about the Redskins, the Wizards, the Nats. He was just giving me a blank stare, like. But you know what? When I said something about esports, his whole body language just changed. I said, okay, I got him. I got him. And so as part of he goes back to school on Saturday. So part of his end of summer assignment is that he was going to come on the show and give you all the scoop of just overall what's esports. The Wizards have an esport team, so he's going to educate us on that. So I'm going to just ask Cameron a few questions, and then we're going to move on then as quickly as we can. But we're going to enjoy this conversation with Cameron and see how it flows.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that we were able to do this before you went off to school. This is cool. So, esports, the world of esports. Tell us what it is and why it's cool.
So esports is pretty much just professional video games, and like the beauty of esports is like there are so many different kinds of video games. There's like strategy games, fighting games, shooting games, adventure games, all different genres and brands and titles. But all of them, depending on how much crowd they have and like the support behind it and everything, can become a professional game. So, for example, like the Fortnite World Championship that just came past had a grand total prize pool of over $16 million. And the first place winner, a 16-year-old from the United States, is now a multi-millionaire from playing Fortnite. So it's things like that where, like, if you just play, like, exactly, it's like, what was I doing, right? It's like, it's things like that where, like, you can, especially, like, kids these days, like, in middle school and high school that are seeing these kind of things happen, they can be like, well, I wish I could play video games for a living, what? So they can, like, get on these same games and just practice their craft, and if they're that good enough, then they can get scouted out, or they can go to, like, their collegiate teams, depending on the college they go to, and they can get drafted for these teams. And you can become actual, like, it's still kind of air quotes these days, but, like, athletes that go and play these games and travel the country or travel the world playing these games and competing for, like, national prizes and, like, lots of money and everything.
Oh, wow. So, we say the air quotes about them being athletes, but they really are looked at as professional
Absolutely.
athletes.
They practice, like, I know some streamers that's another thing that, like, the athletes do is they go to twitch.tv or other streaming services and they'll stream themselves practicing, and that's another way that they, like, make their money and everything through advertisements, and like there will be companies that say, hey, you bring in 14,000 viewers every time you get online, can we put Sony in the bottom left? And so every time people watch your stream, they'll see our brand and they'll be like, sure, just give me $500 every time I go live, and then they can do stuff like that. But yeah, again, like these people practice for hours upon hours a day, like some people 10-hour minimums, just sitting there on a computer, like playing the game or like strategizing with the team or just other things. But no, these people actually dedicate a lot of their lives to these sports.
Wow, that is so... I mean, you just don't even think about those things.
Right. Everybody just thinks you just get online for like an hour, play video games, and you just get a 6-figure contract. That's not how it works.
Wow. So, tell us about Wizards District Gaming, Wizards DG. I know before we get into that, I was shocked. I was like, the Wizards have
not NBA.
At first I was like a video game team, but that's not exactly what it's called.
No, yeah, that's right. Esports,
So yeah, please tell us about the Wizards DG.
So Wizards DG is a esports team, the NBA 2K like franchise. It's a team owned by the Washington Wizards. Oh, Ted Lee owns this, who owns the Washington Wizards and the Washington Capitals. but it's a esports league. The NBA 2KL is the NBA 2K league, which is a league consisting of 17 teams. They play 19 matches over 17 weeks. There are 3 different tournaments with cash prizes between $100,000 and $150,000. And it's actually like pretty close to like the actual NBA. Like during their first season, which was a year ago, they had like their own draft where each team signed, I think, 5 to 6 players between the 17 teams. Wow. And there's like basically like a, what is it like called, a combine, where they have like the players go out and like demonstrate their skills and everything, and they have like different tournaments where the top people in their position can go to a final selection, and the teams get like first draft picks, and then there's like the rest of the draft picks. Like first draft picks in this league got contracts of $35,000. And then all the other draft picks got $32,000. But again, they're open to sponsorships. You know, Wizards DG, for example, have their own YouTube channel, and they have videos that are sponsored by like Food Lion, so they get like sponsorship deals from that. They do like YouTube channels and everything, and then again, they do like streaming, and they have their weekly games and all of that, right?
So tell us, who are the Wizards DG players? Who, if we say, okay, who are these folks? Who do we need to be looking out for? Tell us a little bit about the team.
So the Wizards DG has 6 players as of right now. They have Isaac Gilden, nicknamed Gilly, from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's their second best player, I'd say. He's the center, and he's really good at what he does, because if you know, like, 2K Logic, I guess, or just for anybody at home that might be watching, he's the center. So he has, I think, the top 5. Yeah, he's number 5 in field goal percentage in the entire league. So he's definitely their second best player. Their first best player, Reese DeGod, his name is Maurice Delaney, but his name is Reese DeGod in game, from Chicago, Illinois. Is hands down their best player. He's their 3-point shooter. He's their go-to for points. 3rd in the whole seat in the league for points in general. You've got Paul Bradford, nicknamed Paul B, on the court. He's also on the team. Michael Albiter, nicknamed User Pick. Ryan Conger, nicknamed Dave Fry. Jonathan Fields, nicknamed Demon JT, and that's the entire team. Right. But yeah, they have 6 players. They've got like every player for each position and then 1 substitute. But yeah, definitely Maurice Delaney, or Reese DeGod, is hands down their best player. Okay. And yeah, it's looking like he might get traded this season, because again, he
Wait
can.
a minute, now they trading people?
There's trades. I told you, it's exactly like the NBA. So like, yeah, after the season, like they can trade players. I think it's was it Dave Fry? He was one player on this team that was traded from last season, because this is the second season that just ended.
Right.
And yeah, one player that got signed to the Mavericks got traded onto the Wizards in this season. But again, Reese DeGod, or I'll just call him Maurice. Yeah, he scored 3rd most points, or he has the 3rd best points per game average in the entire league. But sadly, their team came in 15th of 17th place last season.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it's bottom 3, honestly. You're right. So, again, like, other teams are going to realize this, and he's going to realize, I mean, right, it's like you'd hope, like, yeah, let's step it up, DC. But, like, again, when you're a player of that caliber, and then your team is, I wouldn't say is holding you down or anything, but your team just isn't exactly performing to your standards, you could be getting looked at for other offers, like from other teams that might have ended the season in the top 10, or teams that might have gotten first place in the tournament. So that's really up to Reese DeGod, and I guess the coach and the owner's decision in general. Is really just like sports. It's like, you know, how regular trading goes. It's like the player has to make an offer, or the team has to make an offer for the player. I'm sure it's all in money and everything, and then they gotta work through like the business contracts of trading players. It's a real thing out. Yeah.
So we now know that the DC team is not that good.
Yeah, they didn't go too far in any of the tournaments either. But I mean, honestly, they're like, when they're in gear, they're in gear. Like again, Reese DeGod is a killer on the 3-point line.
I love it.
You know, Gilly's really good. JT is like basically the leader. He, like, you can see, I've watched like their YouTube videos and everything. Not only is he like the one on the mic when you're watching the games, they have their mics on so you can hear what they're saying, and he's the one that's like, all right, let's start holding the ball like this, or come on, when I'm out here, then I need you here. Like, he's the one kind of orchestrating. But again, Reese is the one putting the buckets away, and that's why I feel like he might get traded in this upcoming season.
And so where do they, watch the games here or online?
You can
Where?
you can watch them online at twitch.tv if you go to the browse category and you look up for the NBA 2K19, I think we're on. Yeah, NBA 2K19, then you'll find I think it depends on the days, but if you go on like Wizards DG website and you go to their schedule, you'll find the days that they play. And then you go to twitch.tv and then you can go to the broadcasting channel for the NBA 2K
Very
League.
cool.
And then, yeah, you can watch them play there. Or you can go to New York and watch them live. It's free to go there. Well, not free to go there, but it's free to go to the building that they play at. But, yeah, if you want to make that trip to New York, or if you're already there, go for it.
Who learned something today? I know I did. I mean, Cameron, you've been educating me all summer on the Wizards DG, and then sometimes I'm like, what? Who? I don't know. What? But you get it, and you know. So, any final tips or knowledge just on the Wizards DG? When does the season start back up? When do we need to start back looking for Wizards DG?
Honestly, I want to say that they start in either late 2019 or early 2020,
So
but I don't have an exact date. I think it's like different dates every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, it's kind of like regular basketball times. I want
Right.
to say, but yeah, you can find it there.
Very, very good. Listen, everybody is saying interesting sport. I learned a lot about esports. That's why Cameron was here this summer. Listen, Cameron, thank you. I have to publicly tell Cameron, thank you very much. And we're going to continue. We're going to wish you the best of luck in school.
Thank you.
Senior, okay? Listen, I'm going to be bugging you. Are you eating? Are you doing good? Are you going to class?
You have my number, right?
I have your number, and Big Sister Candy will check on you.
Shout out to the CWall Intern team.
All right,
That was
they'll be wearing
amazing,
the shirt around
Cameron.
campus.
Yes, the CWall Intern team is. They pretty serious.
And on the online talk, Pastor Dupree, Tony. They
Hi,
learned
Miss Tony. I
that's
know
right.
her.
She said she learned a lot. Hi, Miss Tony.
Hi, Miss Tony.
So yes, so thank you so much. Now with the time remaining, we got about 10 minutes or so remaining. We have to get into. We know that the Redskins preseason game 3 is going on right now, so we definitely want to talk about that as we go into a couple of clips. We're about to show a few clips here. What I continue to share, and we saw some of this last week, is how that defensive line seems to just, I mean, if we're going to get excited about anything, get They've been doing a little bit of individual work this week as they were going through a couple more, minor injuries. But overall, that defensive line, of course, you got to include, Ryan Kerrigan and Montez Sweat. They're good. They are. The defensive line we're going to keep hope alive for the defensive line. I'm going to go back for a moment to the offense and say, let's really have a conversation about the wide receivers. The wide receivers is definitely, we don't know what's going on. Now there's been more reports coming out about how many times the Redskins have tried to trade Josh Doxson. And the trade has not transpired. It hasn't gone down. It hasn't happened. So you have so much going on out there. You have the Terry McLaurin, who has continued to impress. You still got, of course, Trey Quinn, Paul Richardson. Into the game and close this show out. Next week will be a big week. Tonight is a big night, but we'll tune in to the preseason game and definitely see what happens. And to D'Angelo Coates' point, yes, I hope the O-line starts to look better as well.
Yes, we all
because they don't look good right now. So with all that being said, you guys, I know a lot of folks are trying to tune into the game, and we're coinciding with the game right now. We, definitely wanted to balance that out. We will definitely get with you all at some point next week because it's definitely going to be cuts next Saturday, August 31st. So we'll see what happens, everybody. So until then, we will see you all soon.